Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're from. I wanted to talk about fitness because I've tried living with about 9 to 10-ish% body fat. And I think I've dropped even lower than that actually. Before this, I was at 6, 7%. I know this because I used to play football and they had these little calipers. Basically, it like squeezes your skin, like your ab skin, and it shows you like what your body fat percentage is. And so I remember going in and I was curious. I asked, I'm like, Coach, like, what's my body fat percentage, you know? And he's like, let me show you. He pulled out like the calipers and he clipped it and he just looked at the results really weird. I'm like, everything good? Like, what's going on? He's like, let me do this again. So he pinched it again and looked at it. I'm like, what's up? Like, what's going on? He's like, your body fat is like 5%, dude. You gotta eat. And at the time, I'm like, no, that's cool, you know, like I'm doing good. But what I didn't realize is that the things I thought to be normal, like feeling tired all day, like, having to sleep an extra 2 hours in the evening, I thought that was just like human stuff, you know? I didn't realize I just gotten used to it. And I've only realized this after bulking back up to around 10, 11, 12%, and then going back down to 6, 7-ish. After doing that, I've known both sides and I know what it feels to be at both. And I'm telling you right now, 6% is just, it is not great. So I was at 6 for, I dropped down back to it right now because that's why I wanted to test it out, right? So I've dropped down to it. I restricted my calories down. I usually eat around 2,800. I'm at 155 pounds. I usually eat around 2,800. I dropped down to around like 2,000, 2,100. Not a deficit. I think it was more maintenance, but because I worked out, over time I lost. And I've been doing this for the past like month and a half, 2 months, right? And so, I was doing that and I didn't mean to. I just ate less. I wanted to read more. It wasn't on purpose. But I calculated, averaged around 2,000 calories a day. And I realized, like, over time, I'm like, I come back from school and I have to lay down on the sofa and then it's just like tiredness. I'm like, oh, like I can't get up. I can't really do anything. And my conversations started getting just slower, It was just, I would try to talk and then after like 20 minutes of talking, 30 minutes, I would just phase out. Like I'd be completely dead, Like I just can't continue conversations. It was the same with, my workouts. I'd work out and then like halfway through the workout, I'd collapse on the mat. I'll tell you one story. I was trying these new types of squats, front squats, which is like you put the bar in front, it locks up your neck, and then you squat down. This is for like primary quad training. So I wanted like bigger quads, right? And so I was doing that and I did one set of 12. Okay, great. I was close to failure. Then the second set I did for 10. I'm like, okay, but, of course, I'm going to get a little tired on the second set. Third set, I did 4 reps and I collapsed. Like I was on the floor. Not from pain. It was just, oh, I'm so tired. And I laid down there and I'm like, okay, I'll get up. And then I'll do the next set, I'll do the next exercise. And I'm just laying down there. The music's still playing in my headphones. And, I just keep on laying. And then I, like, close my eyes. And then I open my eyes. I'm like, all right, I feel rested. So I get up from the floor. I pick up my phone. It's been an hour and a half. I accidentally slept on the floor. Like, that's how tired I was. That's what low body fat percentage does. You have zero energy. It is really bad. Like, even walking up the stairs, I would have to sit down on my bed for a few minutes just to recover. Like, that's how bad it got. And I think temporarily, if you want the looks, if you want the achievement, sure, like, I would say go for it. But a lot of people make it their ideal to try and hit that. I want that, those gills, I want these, I want to look ripped and everything. But, like, I literally could not get out of bed. Like I had to pee multiple times a day because I was mainly on water. I starved like most of the time. Like I would try to eat and I couldn't. And people call this body dysmorphia. I don't think it was that. Like now I just chose. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat more. I ate more. When people say they have an eating disorder, it's like, I don't know, people like hate this when you say this. It's like, just eat more. And I get it. Like there's a psychological limiter. I've had that. Like there's this limiter of like, oh, I'm eating too much. I'm just eat past it. Like I don't think it's much of it. If your greatest enemy is your mind, you probably need bigger problems. But yeah, then I started eating much more, and my well-being just went crazy. I felt so much happier. Everything was just so much better. I could actually finish my workouts, which is the biggest thing for me. Like I couldn't finish my workouts. I have, I think, 5 exercises per workout. I'd maybe get through 3. But then I started eating more, and I actually was able to finish those 5 with good intensity. Started getting my pumps back. Um, I started eating more. I think one of the things like I noticed, and I'm being real with you, like I couldn't get erections. Like it wasn't happening. In the morning, I'd wake up, like, you'd expect it in the morning, like morning wood, right? Didn't get it. Started eating more. I turned back into like that 13-year-old kid, which had it all the time. And so, would I do it again? I think maybe, possibly. I don't think it's, again, not a good long-term thing. I think the ideal balance is probably 8 to 10-ish. I want to say right now I'm 10. I want to see what it's like to eat more because I do want to bulk, but like not like a crazy bulk. I've never been fond of eating too much. I just couldn't. Um, I could eat 3,000 calories in like one day. Like I don't feel bad about it. I could eat 3,000 calories for 2 days straight, which I have. But like, it's just not. I don't like putting all my energy towards that. Maybe like at some point in my life, I'll probably sit there and be like, maybe I should like super bulk, and then I would super bulk. But if you're curious about how I got there, what I did was I ate only meats. So here, I'll go from the start. When I woke up in the morning, I had 2 protein shakes, each of them 30 grams of protein. I think I have it. Um, I'm literally going through my garbage bin. I would have 2 protein shakes. One was from like Fairlife, 30 grams of protein. One was from Premier Protein, another 30 grams. So it's breakfast and I've already hit 60 grams of protein. But that's not it, right? I'd also boil 6 eggs, and I would only eat the egg whites. And so in each egg, there's about 6 grams of protein. If I only eat the egg whites, I'm getting about 4. So 4 times 6, that is 24 grams. So 30 plus 30 plus 24, 84 grams of protein already, just waking up. Like this is morning. And then in that same breakfast time period, I'd have around 2 bananas, which is about 300 calories. Not much protein. I think like 4 grams of protein, whatever. 88 grams protein total. And then I have these little drinks. I don't know what it is. It's like a little like yogurt smoothie. But like basically, I don't know if the camera will focus up. No, it won't. But it's 110 calories. Just these mini drinks. 6 grams of protein. And yeah, I'd have like 2 of these. So already in the morning waking up, I've hit 100. Like 100 grams of protein right from that. And it's like quick, it's easy, boil the eggs, takes 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Pull the protein shakes out, chug it down. Like I'm done, right? And the thing with protein is that once you eat it, you feel full for like a long period of time, like 3-4 hours, 5 hours, you don't have to eat. And I use that to my advantage because I had to go to school, so I'd eat around like 7. I went to school and we had lunch around 11, right? So I'd eat in the morning at 7. And I just wouldn't eat, I'd pack a lunch, but like I'd usually eat at like 1 or 2. And that lunch is usually just pure meat, just chicken and like maybe like a little crepe. These things, French chocolate crepes. I love these. I've been addicted to these. I eat 2 every day. It's not great, It's a lot of chocolate. It's let's see. It's 11 grams of sugar. So that's 22 grams of sugar, 19 grams of carbs. Not bad, It's whatever. 140 calories. It's a nice little snack, The guy's got to eat some chocolate, of course. I have chocolate here right now. I shouldn't be talking. But yeah, it's just small stuff. Get home, I'd eat rice maybe, like 1 plate of rice. And usually that I hit my goals for like protein by then. I just try to hit protein first, and then I eat whatever I want after that. Learned this from Alex Ramosi. Guy's absolutely jacked, and he maintains it really well. And so instead of that, I just started like to bulk back up to 10, 12%. I just started eating more calories, just more carbs. I didn't want to like unhealthy bulk, you know. I still wanted to keep my six pack. My goal is to keep a six pack for the rest of my life. Like I've had it since I was 14. I think I'm blessed to start off with it. It's very easy to maintain once you have it. So that's kind of the goal, just to maintain it as long as possible. And to do that, again, it's just protein. It's just calories in, calories out. Like that's, I think the basics work over a long period of time. Say I try to hit like 150 grams to 200 grams of protein, depending on how I feel, you know. Sometimes I want to eat more rice, you know. Sometimes I'll go out to eat, like whatever. I'm not sitting there counting calories. It's just general approximation. Like, okay, maybe like 300 calories from this breakfast, maybe like 900 from this dinner, like whatever. I'm not sitting there counting. I think that's stupid, you know. And then I drink a lot of water. You know, I literally have my bottle right here. Like, it's full. You can hear it. It's literally full. But that's because I just refilled it. Like, I drank 2 of those today. That's 1 liter. So that's about half a gallon of water I've already drank. And then it's about 6 o'clock right now. It doesn't look like it, but it is. And I'm probably going to drink 2 more of these by the night. But yeah, I mean, it's not like not a huge crazy diet, but I've still maintained this for a long period of time. Again, I barely train abs, maybe like once a month. If I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I should train abs. Most of my workouts are just like compound movements. I have I'm doing a Yates bent row, which is like a really cool exercise. It's like rows, but you flip your hand around so that usually you hold the bar like this, but you just flip your hand around, so it targets your bicep as well. I don't train biceps at all. And then you kind of like, instead of bending all the way over, you bend only at like a 75-degree angle from your body. So it's not like a huge hinge. And it's really cool. Like it targets like all your back muscles and your biceps, and it just feels amazing, you know. And so, yeah, that was kind of, so right now I'm bulking back up. I'm around 156, 157 pounds. When I was cut, I was at around 150, 148. And yeah, I mean, just horrible. Like, it's not, I don't think it's worth going down to that level. But I would say though, I think you feel better about yourself in that moment. And the thing is, you have to let go of that expectation of being able to have that for a long time. So if right now you're trying to aim for that like 6-pack, whatever, once you do get it, you will always want more. Like, you'll always, like, once you see it visibly, you'll be like, where's my gills? And then you'll cut even more, and then you'll see the gills, and then you'll be like, man, where's the striations? If you don't know striations, it's like when you flex, you can see like every fiber of muscle. And I've gotten down to that point, and it is, again, that's 5%. That's lower than 5. That's when actually I think the muscle gets dehydrated. I don't know the science, but I believe it's when the muscle gets dehydrated enough so that you're able to see each striation, each muscle fiber in the muscle itself. It looks cool. It looks amazing. But again, it's just horrible for health. So I think, again, if you're young, if you're like between 14, 13 to like 20, 25, maybe like 22 actually, you should just continue eating. Just eat. Make sure it's healthy, right? Make sure it's not stupid stuff like binging on chocolate. Like, of course, I have my chocolate every so often too. I don't think I've ever skipped dessert. Like, I always eat dessert. I actually usually eat it first. Like, dinner, it's usually dinner, right? Like, you eat dinner and then you eat dessert, right? I'm going for those crepes right away. Like, I'm a hungry guy, you know? And so you'd catch me eating crepes at like 7 p.m. Dinner's at like 8:30, sometimes 9. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like a super like crazy, oh, let me focus on my diet 100%, you know. I'm just like casual lifter, you know. It's not like a crazy thing. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're even looking to get jacked, there's never going to be enough, ever. Always sit there and remind yourself that there's going to be no end point. You're just working out for the sake of working out. And if you want to seem like you're 6% body fat, 5%, I say go for it. again, the best thing to do, just calorie deficit for a long enough period of time. Not a crazy deficit, or else you'll feel horrible. But deficit for a bit, and just do it for a long period of time. You will get lower body fat. It's that simple. It's very simple. But just keep in mind that there are side effects to that, and whether you want to do it or not, it's up to you. For me, I'm gonna start staying at around, again, hovering around 9 to 10, 11ish, because I want to have like visible abs still, because I think that look is really good. I want to see the veins when I flex, but I still want to have like good health, good, whatever. So I'm gonna bulk back up, even more actually now, because I believe right now I'm at like 9ish, and I want to hit like, again, 11, 10, 11, 12, and then just like build from there. Again, I'm in a season right now of my life where I don't want to focus too much on fitness. This is just knowledge I know and I wish to share, because I know there's someone out there who's like, I want to get a six pack. I don't think it's as hyped as it is. Like, I don't even get to show people half the time. It's me. Sure, you might be like, oh, but it's for me. Like, is it really? Who are you trying to get it for? If there was no definition of six pack, if you've never seen a six pack before, you wouldn't know it's a thing you could achieve. Unless you're black. If you're black, you probably have a six pack already. Let's be real. Very athletic people. Love you guys. But just keep in mind that it's not hard to get it, and once you do get it, again, easy to maintain. But it's not what you're hoping for. It's not what you're looking for. You're looking for something to show yourself off to others. You're looking for a way to seem cool to others. Like, oh, look, I have a six pack. Again, I don't even show it half the day. No one sees it. Half the people don't even know. They know, they can see, like, if you can see a frame, you can see that they're jacked. You can see, like, oh, they have a huge frame. They're clearly, like, they work out, right? I respect that. Like, no one's like sitting there like putting calipers on me all the time. Like, it's just bragging rights. It's nothing special. Best thing you can do is health for yourself, and that's why I'm doing it. It's not always about progress for me, even though it is. Like, I do want to progress in life at some point with my physique. It's not always going to be like that. I just want to be healthy enough to gain the maximum benefits without having to do stupid stuff, right? I've gotten 80% of the benefits so far. Just by gaining, I think, 35 pounds of muscle, right? I started off at 120 pounds. I'm at 155. 35 pounds of muscle. I actually dropped body fat percentage. So, yeah, I think, like, that, I just wanted to maintain that health for the rest of my life. That's the goal. Health for a long period of time. It's an infinite game, so I'll explain the concept. There's an infinite game and a finite game. Finite games are ones where you try to define the rules, and there's an end point. So, for example, your goal might be like 175 pounds of muscle at 7% body fat, right? That's a goal. Once you hit that, then what? Like, there's no end goal to fitness. There's no end goal to even a relationship. Like, what are you going to say? Look, I've won at marriage. Like, oh, I've won at fitness. Like, there's no winning at fitness. There's no winning in marriage. You just continue. That's it. Like, sure, you may hit your 200-pound benchmark for, like, look, I'm so jacked now. You might hit that 225-pound bench press, right? Then what? Are you just gonna stop? You just gonna sit there? Look, I did it. Then stop. Like, what's driving you? That's a finite game. And all of these things that are important, that are vital, that are praised in society, most of them are infinite games, right? The business is infinite game. You don't win at a business. You just continue to grow, right? You don't win at marriage. You just continue to deepen the relationship, to keep getting into each other, right? There's no winning at fitness. You just maintain the health. You just keep on growing, keep on getting better, keep on doing it different, right? I have all the results I need for, like, my entire life. I have everything I need. I'm super grateful for that. And I might want to grow a bit more. That's great. I think finite games within infinite games help accelerate progress. So if you're within that game of fitness and you're saying, let's say you've never worked out, you're within that game of fitness, which is an infinite game, and you say, okay, I want to gain 20 pounds of muscle, that's accelerating an infinite game's progress. But no matter what, if you work out for 20 years, it will be guaranteed, like if you show up 5 days a week for 20 years, it will be guaranteed that you have reaped 80% of benefits at minimum. Like that is the minimum. There's no way you can sit there and say, oh, I worked out for 20 years and then you look fat still. You still look ugly. You get what I mean? Like there's no way to do that. If you told me that you ran a business for 1 year, like I'd be like, okay, maybe he's made money. But if you tell me you've been running businesses for 15, it's like, oh, he's a professional. The differentiator there is time. You've been doing something for a long period of time, people consider you a professional. So that goal of like, I want to hit this 6% body fat benchmark. I want to hit this fitness benchmark of like 25 pounds of muscle gain. Sure, you could do it, but just keep in mind there's no stopping then. And there will never be any stopping. All you're doing is chasing. You always live in the future moments, which will never let you live in the now. I wish I could tell this to my past self. I wish I could. A lot of what he was doing was chasing, and he never got to live in the moment. I regret not being able to sit there at like 10th grade, 11th grade, actually being able to enjoy my workouts. I hated them. Right? Sure, I had fun most of the time, right? I liked making PRs, I liked growing, right? But I was never doing it for the workout itself. I was doing it for the goal that I would get from the workout. Because here's the thing, and this is the reason I say this. There will be a point in your fitness journey where you won't make progress. It is guaranteed. And I say it's guaranteed because there will be a point where you plateau. You continue with the same routine. You're like, okay, it's working, it's making progress, and then you don't. It will happen. It's happened to me many times. It's happened to a lot of professionals. People don't make progress. And what keeps you driving at that point shouldn't be the progress that you keep on getting over and over. It should be the fact that you love to work out. And that's why I change my exercises pretty often, right? It's not like, 3 weeks. Like, I don't do like, okay, 3 weeks, I'm going to do this exercise. Oh, I'm bored. I don't do that, right? To your muscle, it doesn't recognize differences. Failure is failure, right? Muscle failure is muscle failure. No matter whether you did it on the leg extension, no matter whether you did it on front squats or back squats or hack squats, like it doesn't change. Muscle failure is muscle failure, no matter what. And so experimenting with that muscle failure, different exercises, you might like the hack squat more than the front squat, which is what I did. Front squats hurt my knees really bad. I wanted something that didn't hurt my knees or my lower back. And so I'm like, let me experiment. Searched up squat differences. I found the barbell hack squat. I don't have a hack squat machine at home, but there's like this cool exercise. You put the bar behind you and you hold it with your hands, kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. You'd have to search it up. But like, you hold it behind your back and then you kind of like squat like it feels like a hack squat. This is like the original hack squat when there was no machine. And it's just amazing on your quads. Like, it destroys them. It's amazing, right? And that's an exercise I love. Like, I can't wait to get to that exercise. I'm still trying to find an alternative for like calf raises, but I don't think there is. So, and again, like, I feel no remorse keeping it. Like, I could keep calf raises. It's the best option I have. Again, Yates bent row. Like, I love that exercise. It's my favorite. Like, it's my favorite exercise. You make progress in it quick. It's just amazing feeling after. And I think a lot of people in the start are worrying about numbers like, oh, you have to 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. Oh, touch your chest when you bench press, and 5 by 5 by 3. Like, if you follow the basics for long enough, just go to failure and up the weight. If you can do that, I guarantee you'll make progress. In the long term, the basics matter the most. In the short term, these tactics and these hacks will work, right? Here's the thing, they will work. I'll explain to you keto diet, right? Keto, I guarantee it will work in the short term if you stick to it. Most people won't stick to it, firstly. But in the long term, it'll be so hard to stick to it because it's difficult. You have to go out of your way to stick to it, that you'll just revert back to fatness. The best diet is the one that you continue. The best workout is the one that you continue. And if you're working out to try and get to this low body fat percentage, or to make progress in some way, however way you define it, then you'll end up chasing something that is not guaranteed. Doing exercises you don't like, and they'll make you hate your workouts. And at some point, I know you will quit. This is what happens. Think about our parents. Think about our dads. Like, you know that one dad who said, "Oh yeah, back in high school I used to bench 405." It's like, what happened now, dad? Like, what? Oh, my responsibilities. I had you and as a job and all this stuff. It's like, if you really liked doing it, you wouldn't quit. Truly. Like, my days are packed. I still find time to work out, even though sometimes it's 2, 3 times a week. I still go. These guys outright quit because it's harder for them to continue than it is for them to stop. If you make it easier to stop, you will quit. The best workout is the one that you continue doing for the rest of your life. There's no end game to this. You just keep on going, and you keep on going, you keep on going. Pursue goals. Pursue them. But just make sure you're not pursuing goals at the detriment of the present moment. Because if we didn't have goals, we'd still be stuck on horse carriages as humans. We'd never have cars. We'd never have technology. Pursue them. But know that the pursuit itself is what's worth it. Yeah, that's it. All right, bye.